Yes!
If only I knew a peg leg. And hello, thank you for joining me today. We're going to be doing a walk of downtown in the Governor's Mansion district. I've already done a walk around here. I hit the Governor's Mansion itself, but today I'm going to hit a little bit north of that and gather about 15 to 20 houses and just give you a little bit of information about them. Thanks for tagging along with me. Let's get started. Let's go. First stop is at the Rimmel Flats. This is a 1906 colonial revival style. It's actually a duplex, and it was initially built as a duplex, and it's known to be one of Little Rock's first duplexes ever. Currently, half of it is used as a residence, and the other is used as an office. This is another house designed by Charles Thompson. Rimmel Flats. Second stop is at the O'Brien House. This is circa 1823 to 1833 with alterations done in the 1890s. This was built for P.J. O'Brien, a well-known Little Rock tailor. And this is a two-story Queen Anne style residence. This house has the upstairs deck with spindles post. Really nice. Right next to this huge magnolia tree. This stop is at the Pierce House. This is constructed in 1881. It's one of the oldest houses in the Governor's Mansion district. This was built for the Reverend Henry Niles Pierce. He is the founder of the Episcopal Cathedral. This is an Italianate design with some hints of colonial revival because of the porch. And it has this wonderful red brick retaining wall and brick steps leading up to the porch. And directly across the street we have the Eternal Folk House. This was made in 1903, 1904, another one designed by Charles Thompson for Miss Sue Turner, who, along with members of her family, built lots of big houses around the Governor's Mansion district. This is a colonial revival style with a Dutch colonial gambrel roof on the side, but it is covered by trees. I'll see if I can grab a shot of that gambrel roof. Massive columns, a observation little deck right there. And this is the gambrel roof. And it's a gambrel because it has the two pitches. Almost kind of looks like a barn, but it is called gambrel. Nice bay window. And a little port window. Charles Thompson had only been in Little Rock for 4 years and was only 21 years old whenever he drew up the plans for the Raglan House in 1890. It's a Queen Anne style built for William H. Raglan and his wife. It's the irregular shape for a Queen Anne style, along with typical features of millwork trim porches and stained glass windows, which you can see here and right there. And it has this wonderful retaining wall with stone that was quarried only a few miles from here. Grand double front door entrance, upper balcony, wonderful house. And just a few doors down are the Halliburton houses, built in 1905. This was built for Tom Halliburton, the conductor of the Missouri Pacific Railroad. These are actually twin houses. The houses are identical next to each other. They're designed in colonial revival style, noticing the big columns. And as you can see, both of these houses are actually for sale. It is divided. They are not connected. As you can see, you can right through it. Behind these houses is a great swimming pool, but it is for the house on the right. The house on the right has been remodeled. The house on the left is in desire of rehabilitation. These are the Halliburton houses. This is the Winfield Memorial Methodist Church, built in 1888. This was constructed for a mere cost of $10,000. It has detailed stained glass, high steeple, and now it currently is an apartment complex. Dr. Augustus Winfield was the pastor during the construction of this Gothic revival style church. As you can see, there were once doors right here and right here. They've been bricked in, but a lot of the stained glass still remains of this grand structure. Not to mention, it's beautiful red brick. And now we're at the Dunklin House, built in 1896 for William Dunklin, a railroad conductor. This house was designed by Frank Gibb. This is a Queen Anne and colonial revival. Colonial revival due to the porches with the columns, and Queen Anne style more because of the stained glass small window up there and the round turret style corner. It's on this corner block, again fashioned with stone quarried from Granite Mountain quarries. This stone is 100 and some odd years. That's a nice shot. 100 and some odd years ago, they quarried this stone that runs along here. Here we have the DeBrell house. This is a Queen Anne style. This was built in 1892. This has a angled front here, and then has a squared end here with a rounded wraparound porch. This was a new spec home. He was a doctor he was one of the founders of the Medical Department of Arkansas Industrial University, now UAMS. This one has just had a new retaining wall put around it, and it is not the construction that you would seen in 1892. Subpar construction on that wall. Some lady's walking around without her purple leopard scrub. Here we have the almond house. Not an almond, but an almond. This is one of the newer houses in the historic district, built in 1922. It was constructed, by the time the house was constructed, vacant lots in the blind school neighborhood were scarce. This blind school being the now governor's mansion. This was built home of the architect John Parks Allman and his family, who graduate of Columbia University, and he moved to Little Rock to work for Charles Thompson. It's a Craftsman Colonial Revival. Nice steep pitched roof, and it's got that sweet brick on the lower end. Now we're standing in front of the Quapaw Quarter United Methodist Church, formerly the Winfield Methodist Church. This was built between 1920 and 1926 and designed by your favorite Little Rock architect, Charles Thompson. During the summer of 1920, the church congregation purchased the site for the new construction from Hedrick Holtz, the owner of the house, which lived next door. Has a nice belfry with a couple rainbow flags in it. The church is officially for sale. It has a thrift store running in it right now, right down here. And it also used to serve as a haunted house. There is where you go to the thrift store. This is a multi-layer church. This is what you would consider a basement. And then the upper layers were the sanctuary, which I believe that you can walk directly into the sanctuary in that door and the front door. But it is currently for sale. It's nice, but it has seen its better days. Here's another one of your rainbow flags. Wonderful red brick. And a nice little sitting garden. This is the back side. This would make a wonderful apartment. But this is slick as can be. I almost fell down. And here we have the Holtz house. Built in 1900, designed by your favorite designer and mine, Charles Thompson. It was constructed for Peter Holtz as his retirement home. As you can see, it has the large columns. It's under construction right now. It has this gate with this brick entrance right here. A grand staircase. Not so grand, but it's a staircase. An entryway and a guest quarters slash servant quarters, but do we really want to call them servants? carriage house maybe. In this elevated room above the carport. And if you can tell from the picture, there used to be 2 trees. They are no longer here. Let's see if I can find a stump. No stump or anything. But that's it. The Holtz house. And that is a balcony deck up there. You would be able to get to it. And at the very top, I like that so much too. You can, because these windows, you could walk out of those windows, and then on the very top would be like a little hatch that you could crawl up through. Another grand house in the Governor's Mansion District in downtown Little Rock. And this Queen Anne style house is the Turner Ledbetter, built in 1881. This helped change the blind school area. You can tell it's the Queen Anne with the turret on the top, and actually has a spire. This side lot with all of this landscaping. A carriage guest house on the back. And you know it is so awesome with all of this red brick. And it also has this side entrance right here. A beautiful stained glass door. No, that's a taupe. Look at stained glass right there. Another beautiful house. And our final stop is at the Trinity Episcopal Cathedral. This church was built in 1884 to 1892 when Reverend Henry Niles Pierce came to Little Rock in 1870 as Bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Arkansas and Indian Territory, because that's what was going on then. He oversaw the money raising and construction of the Episcopal Church. It does encompass one whole city block and has a preparatory school across the street, and in here it has a fellowship hall and garden here in the center, lined by these wonderful red bricks. This is a prayer meditation garden. I actually have a family that has had their ashes scattered in this garden. As you can see, it's a really nice all brick encompassed cobblestone drive or walk path. This almost reminds me of walking through the streets of Germany. Tight quarters. This bell, actually, not that bell right there. There's a little door that goes down there. It's kind of disgusting. But this bell does ring every hour. Ding. Can hear it from my house on good days. Walk down this little corridor here. There's the fellowship hall I mentioned. And here is King James. Linton King Ames. What am I saying? He lived from 1903 to 1961. Pretty cool little overlook of the neighborhood. There's the Halliburton houses right there we visited earlier. It's got this cool wood roof with skylights. This is still in use to this day. And a side note, which I love those side notes, the movie God's Not Dead 3 was filmed on this location. And a large explosion happened on the other side. This is the main sanctuary. But a explosion happened, Hollywood style, and it was pretty great. They filmed here over a few days. Look, coming out, you see all the wonderful stained glass. And we come over here to what my wife really loves. Now this slate is not from the quarry in Granite Mountain. I did not know where it is. This actually looks like blue granite from New England, but I really don't know. My wife is a sucker for red doors. She is a sucker for them. And I can't blame her. They look pretty good. But yeah, this is right out here was where the explosion was. And they ran right up here and they were congregating in this area around this red door. This is the door that they use as an entrance. Well, that is going to do it for today. Thank you for joining me on the second leg of the Governor's Mansion walking tour. I just hit a few of the historical houses that are around this area. I would appreciate a subscribe. Give me a thumbs up for the like, or a thumbs down if you prefer. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you want to know what's going on with me and know when the next videos are coming out, rock the bell. I said rock the bell. Nope, I think they didn't hear me. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for tagging along. Why don't these flowers smell? There's a rave in the neighborhood.